Hello and welcome back to MoonClan. My name is Frosty and today we are picking up where we left off at 11 moons into MoonClan's existence. So I did pre-record, as I disclaimed quite a bit in the last couple of episodes, the last two, just to make sure I had enough content to get through when I was gone for a week there. Unfortunately, that did line up with all of the important milestones, being when we became an apprentice and when we got our clan name, which now, spoiler alert, is Frostwhisper, which I genuinely think will be very good for this cat. So, just to kind of recap here a little bit, I went with the warrior route because that felt the least restricting, the most encompassing of, clan gen and life gen experiences. But I did get quite a few comments actually about becoming a queen. And with our current development of our cat here, becoming a dream shaper especially, I think that could be a good path for us to ultimately take, because I think that could give us a little bit more insight into the kits themselves, go into their dreams, shape who they want to be, bring them up to their full potential, things like that. So I do think that could be a very valid path for us. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm going to continue on the warrior's path just for now until we're grown. And that's both to get a little bit more of your guys' feedback, but also I just want to let our cat kind of have an experience as a warrior that could shape why they ultimately want to become a queen, or even, a medicine cat or mediator, just any change of occupation within the clan. So that's kind of my mentality. So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't think there was really anything else that we missed besides me kind of misinterpreting what dream influencer, dream walker, and dream shaper are. So I think we really are more like Jay Feather with our abilities in dream shaping, in the sense that we can kind of go into their cat's dreams, speak with them, influence them maybe. And given our kind of cold, lonesome natures that we've had growing up, I don't know whether or not we'd use that for selfish purposes, or if that would just kind of make us feel like that's what is setting us apart. So, just like if we're constantly going to their cat's dreams and seeing their dream interactions with one another, that can kind of be an alienating experience, I imagine, especially for a cat as young as Frostwhisper is. So I kind of think that could be why he's been struggling with the way that he has been growing up. And I think kind of exploring that a little bit further will give us a lot more insight into Frostwhisper's personality too. But presently we are thinking wistfully about the past, it seems. So without any further ado, I am going to go ahead and we are going to time skip one moon into our moon 11. And for the clan, 1 year old. Okay, it looks like we've got quite a few under all events this moon. We were trying to flip up our nest when we discovered that we were the victim of a prank. Fox sung, there's now a sharp thorn embedded in our paw. Oof. Wonder who would have done that. It was probably one of our siblings, honestly. We share a quiet moment with our leader, their gaze meeting yours with an unspoken understanding. I wonder if that's more of like a trust in how we're coming into our own, or if they still have some doubts about where we take place in the clan still. We assist in rebuilding the dens after a storm. Despite the hardship, the unity of your clan shines. Since we're now into new leaf, that could be either snow or rain too. With the lake right there, we could be really prone to flooding as well. We take the lead in a hunting patrol, guiding our clanmates through the dense undergrowth. Okay, so maybe there is a bit more understanding in our ability and a bit more trust in our ability. During a thunderstorm, we reassure the terrified kids. Their calm mewling soothes your own fears. Okay. So that does kind of tie into, maybe choosing to become a queen. We rescue a clanmate trapped by a fallen tree during a storm. Our paws are sore and your back is bruised, but it's worth it to see them live another day. Wow, so with all of these storm events, I think we probably are going to be in for a really harsh new leaf. I think it's possible that these could all be referring to the same events. Like a thunderstorm comes in, kind of washes away the camp, during which we're reassuring the kids and also help a clanmate, and then we help to clean up afterwards. But more realistically, we're probably just a victim of a lot of new leaf storms. And that could be very scary. We don't have extinction events on yet. We don't have enough cats to have extinction events on per the challenge. But even so, cats could be vulnerable to the elements. Sparrowsar rests her muzzle on Weasel Reed's head and declares him to be a full warrior of MoonClan, honoring their hard work. Okay, so Weasel is finally caught up to us. Moonfern hopes their litter will be small. They feel overwhelmed at the idea of a big litter. Time to move to the nursery and relax before the new arrivals make their appearance. Moonfern is also just a very young parent, so I can definitely understand the anxiety about having a lot of kids to watch over. Especially if this was just the result of a quick one-night stand, especially with somebody outside of the clan, which, given the circumstances, it probably was. Frostwhisper spent a long time talking with Hollowpelt and was disappointed by their lack of interest. High negative effect. So that's the only cat we're really going to interact with, but given this understanding with the leader, I think we will also talk with Sparrowstar. Coyote Path is feeling much better. Their bruises are gone. Greenfin's running nose is gone and then back again. Probably just thanks to all the thorns or allergies with New Leaf. Lilac Paw was pushing through some dense shrubs and felt the branches tear painfully at their pelt. Probably trying to get some obscure herbs or something. Oh, a member of Clay Clan defects from their birth clan and chooses to join our clan. They decide to keep their name. Okay, well, I did say if any cats manage to come over through these time skip events, we'll let them. And going back through our founders, I know we did have quite a few cats that were supposedly originally of Clay Clan. So we can also say that this is just one of their old friends that felt they'd be happier here with us and back at their birth clan. Let's check them out. Okay, so we've got Tulip Stripe now. Currently looking around the camp with wonder. A young adult male with cobalt eyes and a masked gray and white pelt. He is stoic with a dormouse trait. I know what a dormouse is, but I don't really know if there's a meaning I'm not understanding when it comes to this. Definition and meaning. Any of numerous small nocturnal furry-tailed old world rodents that live mainly in trees and resemble small squirrels. Okay, so I genuinely don't know what that means in the context of ClanGen, so feel free to let me know your theories. Mine is that it's going to be a little bit more timid or a little bit more predisposed to hunting mice and climbing trees. I genuinely don't know what else it could be, though. This is a little off topic, but just in this column here, we've got so many long names. Icy Ice just feels almost too short. So Sparrowstar is currently worried about clan relations. I wonder if that's a result of Tulip Stripe coming over and possibly making Clay Clan angry with us. Sneak attack. Sparrowstar suddenly tackles you from behind. We chase them around camp, trying to get them back, squealing with laughter. Somehow their antics always make you feel like a kid again. It's so nice to see a cat that is, you know, with a fierce trait and a leader still being able to goof off with his clan. In the books, the leader is always portrayed as being at some distance from the rest of the clan, with the deputy kind of acting as a liaison. But realistically, if you only have like 15 other people to interact with, you'd probably be pretty close with everybody. So it's nice to kind of see that divide going away in LifeGen. Bayfair is wondering how Greenfin is doing. Greenfin is her crush, so that makes sense that she's, you know, wandering or maybe even pining after him. Let's see. I think we're gonna still keep meeting these guys. I think they could be good together. Judas Shade and Swanswat are both wanting to critique the younger warrior's fighting techniques. So there could definitely be some, you know, refinement going on here, especially with the age divide that there is in this clan. Tulip Stripe is honestly kind of what's bridging that, because they go from 98 moons to 18 moons if we're just looking at our original clan. So having somebody who's actually middle-aged, not very old or very young, is going to be very nice for our balance in this clan. Oh wow, Greenfin actually has a non-fish related status this moon. I'm genuinely shocked. But I do think it's funny how everybody agrees with me that Greenfin is like totally the stereotypical fisher. Okay, so we're currently feeling bad about never being invited to share tongues. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I feel like we acted up quite a lot as an apprentice, so now, you know, that kind of probably created a bit of a rift with a lot of the clan. And while our actions are making up for it, there's still probably some like social awkwardness in that. And I think after a point, some of those habits are kind of learned, such that if you're always expecting to never be invited, then sometimes that kind of creates that feeling, if that makes sense. Like, growing up, I was never expecting to be, you know, asked out for dances or invited to certain parties, and I never was. So I think I also just kind of gave off an aura of don't talk to me. So that probably helped people to not invite me to things. And I think that also just, you know, kind of became a negative cycle. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not bitter about it at all. It was a fate I ended up making for myself. So, just kind of like something that I've been conscious about, and I recommend others be conscious about too. In a lot of circumstances, it's kind of you get what you gave. And here's Weasel Reed, who wants to compliment Ravensong's fighting techniques. He is cunning and a great healer. So we've got cunning and a fantastic healer, and cunning and a great healer in both of our siblings. So like with all of these healer dream shaping traits in our, you know, litter here, I'm kind of thinking that there's definitely some predisposition to like either Medicine Cat or Star Clan things with us. But man, the fact that none of us actually went down that route and everybody is a warrior with these great healing, guiding abilities is just so frustrating. But let's go ahead and see. He was mentored by Icy Ice, who influenced him to be more likely to follow the status quo and bicker with others. When he graduated, he was honored for his hard work at 11 moons old. And next moon we'll see everybody all grown up, which I'm excited for. I think Ravensong is really going to be the best looker out of all of us, but we'll see. Hollow Pelt saw a kitty pet with the fluffiest fur imaginable today. And he's arrogant, which I don't remember. He could have been arrogant before, but I don't really remember either of these traits for him. Arrogant, Insider, and Lore Keeper is a little bit more familiar, but not the Insider part. But regardless, we had an argument with him. So we'll go ahead and make that worse. Tough talk from a cat with a face like that. Jeez. Kind of low-hanging fruit, though, to go after looks. Then again, I don't really know what I said to him. So I could very well have done something even worse than that. Alright, so for our LifeGen patrol, I like this art. We discover a new hunting ground full of prey. However, it's close to Two Lake Place and there could be potential dangers. So we don't really have a trait that would make us always go or not go depending on circumstances here. But I do think we'd be a little bit more willing to act risky right now because A, we're young, we're not even a year old. So kind of just that foolhardiness of youth, I think would be very strong. But also with the lonesome trait and how hard we are working this moon to prove ourselves to probably ourselves in the clan, I think we would still be trying to really eke out that place. So we're going to go ahead and proceed. We decide to hunt in a new area. We manage to catch a lot of prey and return safely, earning praise from our clan. Nobody really was thinking about anybody in terms of warriorness outside of critiquing people. So I think we'll just kind of divide up patrols accordingly. I think I am just going to send us out with our siblings on a training mission altogether. I think since now we're all technically warriors, having that ability to get that independence, but also still working to improve our skills, makes a lot of sense, and we can maybe get some bonding time in. Oh no. Trailing behind the patrol, there's a mighty crash above us. We look around wildly just as the world is blotted out by a tangle of heavy falling branches. Ravensong tugs on just the right branch, lifting the pile off of us for long enough for the other cat to scramble free. Luckily without injury, because we genuinely could have just been handing over control of this run to Ravensong right there. Our government-mandated border patrol comes across a small dog right on the border of the territory. And since this is a danger to the clan, we'll proceed. We pace towards the small dog, claws out, fur up, backed up with the courage of their clanmates. The dog breaks into a barking fit, but that's their opportunity to attack, covering each other as they push a creature away from their lands. The patrol hears this howling and wonders whether to investigate the noise. Okay, so again, I'm not seeing any traits that mean we're going to immediately go or not go on this. But given the fact that I have Tulip Stripe on the patrol, who doesn't really know the territory, and Greenfin, who's a fisher, I don't think we're going to investigate a noise. We still have plenty of prey. Ooh, this is new, I think. As the patrol wanders through a damp, dripping world, their claws clogged with mud, Icy Eyes turns around to find Swanspot is missing. I mean, I think this really emphasizes too just how rainy or thunderstorming this past moon has been. Swanspot seems confused when they come trotting up, responding to Icy Ice's yowls. They thought this was the hunting spot. Situation solved, Icy Ice decides it may as well be, and the patrol disperses to do their actual job. It doesn't turn out to be a particularly bountiful corner of the woods, though, but a medium amount of prey is brought back. Okay, moving into Moon 12 for us. We are all grown up. We'll take a closer look at our sprite here in a little bit. The chest patch at least is a little bit smaller than I was projecting it would be. Frostwhisper's small cut is no longer bothering them. During a gathering, we stand up for our clan against false accusations. Our heart beats strong and loud in our chests. Unity patrols successfully chase off a rival clan. The victory yowls echo through the forest. Okay. I definitely feel like this is a little bit more courageous than what we've done before. But then again, our last moon we did quite a bit for ourselves in the clan. It looks like I was wrong. Moonfern gazes lovingly at their new litter of 2 kits. Stonefruit looks nervous and awkward in nursery, but Moonfern calms them forward to meet the litter. So I guess Stonefruit is going to be father to this litter. The fun thing about this challenge, too, is that from our perspective, we would only see what the rest of the clan sees. So, like, Moonfern could totally have a father outside the clan, but Stonefruit just takes responsibility like Thrushpelt did. And nobody would ever really be the wiser. That would just be the truth that we would accept. So there's definitely a little room for like storytelling there too. Because at face value, we are going to say that Stonefruit is the dad. But you know, maybe information comes along later that suggests otherwise. Okay, we've got quite a few interactions this moon, most of which look negative. Frostwhisper said they'd cover for Bayfer, but when it came time, they got Bayfer in trouble. Sparrowstar bickered about something trivial with us, which is neutral. Bitespec saw Frostwhisper being rude. Icy Ice tells Frostwhisper to count on them in a difficult situation. Hollowpelt had a fight with Frostwhisper. I don't think we like Hollowpelt very much. Tulip Stripe thinks Frostwhisper is very helpful. At least we're getting somebody kind of on our side. Coyote Pass, White Cough is gone. Bitespec has gotten a stomachache. Moonfern's news. Greenfin no longer has a running nose. Lilac Paw's torn pelt is healed. The medicine den nests have been refreshed with new moss from the herb stores. Alrighty. Okay, it looks like we have changed yet again. So now instead of lonesome, we are simply aloof. Which definitely means we're still distant, but with this, it sounds like we're more okay with that. So maybe now we have matured more into our role of kind of helping or manipulating from afar even. Okay, so this is what we look like, all grown up. From a younger age, I would have expected that white chest patch to be a little bit bigger. Honestly, you can't even see that we've got white booties anymore. So that's interesting. But I really do like the rosette pelt. I think it's a very, very pretty pelt. And we still got our little rabbit friend with us. Then we've got Ravensong, who I stand by I think is probably the prettiest of us siblings here. So cunning and fantastic healer. And Weaselreed, who's now arrogant and a great healer. I'm not sure why, but arrogant just fits in with the imagery I had for Weaselreed growing up. So I'm really not mad that we don't have like a copy-paste sibling of cunning and healer. I do think that this is going to be a little bit more fitting for him in the long run. Plus that gives us a little bit more of a friendly rivalry, or even just a rivalry with him. Then we've got Little Kit here, who's a little newborn nervous male with yellow eyes and a speckled white pelt. So I think probably, no, not quite Moonfern, but probably her coloration. Snuggling up into the belly of Moonfern. And then we've got Fluff Kit. Little Kit and Fluff Kit are just such cute names. Newborn male with green-yellow eyes and a single-color gray pelt who is noisy. How's Moonfern doing? Moonfern's pulling a prank on Stonefruit. They've got like a kind of mutual like for one another, but not to the same extent that Stonefruit has feelings for, say, Coyote Path. Stonefruit is currently fretting over a recent increase in fox sightings near the camp, which I'm sure is especially nerve-wracking for him now that he's got very young kits to defend. Okay, but now we're finally starting to see a clan that's looking a little bit more prosperous, I guess. We're not just all elders and apprentices and kits anymore. We've actually got quite a few adults. We just can't really look at the ages quite yet because they're all going to be the same, basically. Sparrowstar is currently eavesdropping on Hollowpelt. We're not going to talk or antagonize with him since it was a neutral trait we had with him. Bitespec is organizing the herb stores, and we did have a fight with him, so we'll insult him. Bitespec curls their lip at you and stalks away. Bayfer now wants to get to know Sky Scratch better, and similarly to before, we're insulting. Okay, Grumpy. Icy Ice wants to critique Weasel Reed's fighting techniques. We did have a good moment with them, though. Hi, Frostwhisper. I thought I heard someone talking about me earlier. Was it you? Did I do something wrong? I mean, with the rampage I'm going on through camp, I cannot blame him for, or blame her for, thinking that maybe I'm coming after her too. Tulip Stripe is grateful to Lilac Paw for their treatment. Probably just having any kind of understanding in a clan like this would be good, since we do tend to antagonize everybody. But we had a good interaction with him, so I'll talk to him. Oh, hello. Oh, you wish to talk to me? Sure can do, I suppose. The wind is lovely. It always waves through our coats when we're wandering through the territory. Maybe that's our clan's way of telling us we're doing a good job. Exactly, River. Yeah. I think it's kind of fun how Tulip Stripe went from being like, oh, you want to talk to me? Don't know why you'd want that. And then just going on a really, elegant soliloquy with us. Greenfin is debating with Icy Ice which fish tastes the best. I wonder what access to fish they have here, if it's all just freshwater or saltwater. Because if it's saltwater, I'd say salmon. Then I guess you could technically argue freshwater on that too. Oh no. I was just checking to see if he returned Bayfur's crush. He does not like Bayfur. That's so sad. Since Moonfern did have kits, and it's a very common thing for all the clan to visit new kits, I'm gonna talk with them. Ah! Moonfern literally startles at their own shadow, then awkwardly starts grooming their chest for trying to play it off. I definitely think she's a little nervous about her new motherhood. Speaking of, purr. And Fluff Kid is making a sound that sounds vaguely like giggling. I think that would almost be scarier to me. Just someone comes out of the womb laughing. We are currently craving the taste of frog, so no one's really thinking about us, which means we're free to patrol however we want. Hollow Pelt is rethinking their life choices, and we get to argue with them more. Oh, how original. Tough talk from a cat with a face like that. Oh yes, so now that we are a year old, we can officially go on dates with cats. And these are all of our perspectives here. So, I guess we'll leave that for now. The challenge is we can't really influence who our cat chooses. They have to do it organically. But once they're chosen, we can abuse this all we want. And I'm so curious as to what that would, entail. Speaking of, though, a moonlit walk by the river with a cat you're interested in seems a perfect way to spend the evening. We invite them to join you. They agree, and we both enjoy a peaceful walk, chatting and sharing stories. By the end of the evening, you feel a stronger connection between you. That's very cute. I wonder who that would be, though. Sorry, River's being very cute, asking for cuddles right now. Alrighty, so for our government-mandated border patrol, while walking along the border, we notice a River Clan patrol renewing their scent marks ahead. We are most likely to antagonize, so I think we'll go ahead and do that. We've got a patrol of pretty, experienced warriors, and it's not a small one. The patrol stands tall and approaches the River Clan cats with insults and threats. They need to be sure that River Clan knows how strong MoonClan cats are. Swamp Spot spits and hisses until the other patrol leaves the area, annoyed and unimpressed by our posturing. Oh, okay, so here, I didn't notice this before. What was that, River? Oh my god. What was that? Okay, so River's distracting me a lot, but I'm not going to dislodge her from her place on my lap. So I didn't notice this before when I was sending out patrols, but Tulip Stripe's little trait is now sleeping, so maybe Dormouse just means that they are good at hibernating and, sleeping a lot, so I don't really know how that's particularly helpful or not, but if they sleep a lot, that could explain why they get along with us, since we have the capacity to walk in and shape their dreams. We could maybe be tweaking that a little bit to our own purposes and maybe finding a friend. Oop, Tulip Stripe is tempted to eat the prey they just caught. Let's see what they do. They resist the temptation, going on to make a couple of great catches to make sure the elders are fed, and a large amount of prey is brought back to camp. That's great, because otherwise, if they've been caught, that would have been a strike against them. As the patrol gathers together to train under Sky Scratch's leadership, we admit that we think we had a vision from StarClan last night, but no one can make sense of it. I imagine we'd probably get a lot of omens from StarClan in dreams, whether or not they're ours or somebody else's. I can see us kind of being guided through dreams like that, so I can see us also reaching out for some help if we really can't interpret it, but it seems no one can make sense of what we saw. Their last hunting patrol also brings back a huge amount of prey, so we should be good for a little while. But since there's no real downside to having a surplus as far as I've seen in this game, I don't see any reason to, not be getting that surplus, because something tells me we're gonna hit a point and our population's gonna spike. And I'd rather we be prepared for that, or, just try and stock up on the better times of year like New Leaf and Greenleaf versus winter and fall. Let's go ahead and skip a moon. During a moonlit stroll, we spot a shooting star. Ooh. The fleeting moment leaves you filled with wonder. You wonder what you should wish for. I definitely think that could be a moment of reflection for us. Like, now that we're formally an adult, what do we want out of life? During a thunderstorm, we reassure the terrified kits. Their calm mewling soothes your own fears. And we also save a kit from a fox, our body shielding them from the predator. Okay, so it looks like Stone Fruit was right to be concerned about that fox after all. And that's quite a few different kit events that we've had this episode, really. So again, if you think we should switch over to Queen, I think this moon could be the good reflection for it. Reassuring the kits, saving the kits, and then that moment of wonder with the shooting star. It could all just align if that's the path we want to go down. A treacherous ravine cuts through our patrol route. We carefully guide our clanmates around it. I'm a little surprised that we blatantly have a route that has a ravine in it. That we have to very carefully navigate through. Since I don't think a ravine would just pop up overnight, but who knows? Strange things happen when it comes to flood season. Oh no. Tulip Stripe brought a litter of 4 kits back to camp, but refused to talk about their origin. Okay, let me go ahead and look up the rules for male cat bringing back random kits. Okay. So if a cat has kittens with an outsider, including bringing in their own kits from another clan, they should be punished with exile or demotion. If leader has a positive trait or close bond, at least 1 green bar, they may escape punishment. You can always have them be punished anyway, though. Flip a coin for male or incapable of becoming pregnant cats. Heads are caught, tails are not. Stinky Clever gets an extra flip. At tails, they can get away with claiming they found the kits or having someone adopt the kits. Okay, so since Tulip Stripe is refusing to talk about the origin, and Straight Up isn't admitting that, then maybe they'll have a better chance of at least having that much. But again, there's that spike in members that I was anticipating. We'll resolve Tulip Stripe once we're done with the rest of this moon, though. Frostwhisper and Stonefruit heckled another clan at the gathering together. A little bit less overwhelming than last moon. Bite Speck no longer has a stomachache. Pigeon Flick's tail was badly injured by a fox, so I guess the foxes are really bad right now for some reason. Abnormally strong winds blew through the camp last night and scattered the herb store into a useless state. This new leaf I'm just picturing as being the rainiest, stormiest new leaf ever. So that would sound about right. I'd be a little bit more surprised that's a wind and not a flood, though, with the rate we've been going. Bayfur travels to BlissClan, I don't remember BlissClan, to resolve some recent personal disputes. The meeting goes better than expected, and Bayfur turns to the plan to solve the issue for good. Good for her. Stonefruit revealed their love to Coyote Path, who was happy to become Stonefruit's mate. Yay! Lilac Paw was trying to fluff up their nest when they saw a thorn inside of their bedding. Another prank, but it could not fool them. Alright, so Stonefruit is winning this moon, I think. But we'll check out Tulip Stripe here. He's so calm in Dormouse. So let's go ahead and roll here. Okay. I've got a coin flipper app up now. So he doesn't have a sneaky or similar trait. He's just calm, which I mean I guess could help him not get flustered if he's being pressed, but don't want to give him too much of an unfair advantage here, just because I think we could actually be friends with him. Let's see. I guess I should confirm that these kits are his, but I'm sure they are. They were born outside the clan, but came to live in the clan with their parent at a young age. I guess another thing to consider too is that Tulip Stripe joined the clan on Moon 12. It is now Moon 13, which means that these cats were born, you know, with another clan or an outsider, but were, you know, conceived when he was with another clan anyway. So, because it takes 2 moons for the kittens to actually be born. So, it's not even like really an affront against us, it'd be an affront against whatever he was doing before. Now he's just brought the kits in. To be totally honest, I don't know if I'd want to punish him for that. If it had been like the same exact moon he joined the clan, I would have been more harsh on that, but it does feel a little wrong to punish Tulip Stripe for something he did before even coming to our clan. So I think if he doesn't get away with it, it'll just be a strike against him instead of a full-out exile. I think that's the fairest thing to do, though Sparrowstar is going to be fierce and less forgiving than other leaders. I just think that's the best compromise, so let's see if he even gets caught. Anyway, so tails, they're not caught. Heads they are. And it's tails, so I guess Tulip Stripe gets away with it. So, not too shabby. And I guess we'll say less on the actual sneakiness of getting away with it and more so on the notion of there was no real alternative here for Tulip Stripe if he wanted to keep his kids and come to our clan. And so I guess he could probably convince Moonfern to adopt these kits since she's got these 2 little ones too. But just looking at them, they have got quite interesting black and white patterns going on here. First we have Comfrey Kit, who is quiet, newborn female with cobalt eyes and a masked tabby pelt with some white markings. After that we have Whisker Kit, who's lonesome, newborn female with cobalt eyes and a speckled black and white pelt. Looks like it's pretty solid, white underneath too. Then we have Flood Kit, who I think is pretty adequately named since, again, I'm picturing this as being a very stormy spring. He is a know-it-all. Newborn male with cobalt eyes and a masked pelt as well, but he's got a little bit more white on his back half there. It's the pants whites. Then finally we have Misty Kit, who's smug. He's a newborn male with green eyes and a masked tabby pelt. But you can barely see it because it's mostly covered by white. So that's interesting. Yeah, Tulip Stripe is masked with a pretty heavy white marking, so that's probably where all of his kits get it from too. I don't think there's any denying that family resemblance, so. Sparrowstar is getting startled by a squirrel. Stonefruit, understandably, wants to get to know Coyote Path better. I'm sure they're very happy now that they're newly mates, but we did have a positive interaction with him, so let's talk to him. Stonefruit has been grooming every inch of themselves for what seems like hours now. You can't tell if they're incredibly vain or just super paranoid. He's probably just trying to look his best for Coyote Path this moon. Ooh, this is a new Pathfinder thing. Doesn't mind the constant dirt their pelt gathers underground. You know, having a medicine cat that's a good tunneler and a good Pathfinder, I think could actually be helpful when it just comes to creating a place to store the herbs and maintaining that. So I think that's probably honestly where he's putting those talents to use. Lilac Paw is eavesdropping on Bayfur, who's in awe of her growth as a medicine cat apprentice. That's such an interesting dynamic to me. I wonder if they're gonna be like any kind of friend. I think there's some potential there for them to become good friends when Lilac Paw is a bit more grown. And for this one, I think we're just gonna randomize again. Oh, Tulip Stripe wants to get to know us better. We'll go ahead and talk to him. Frostwhisper, hello, I didn't think anyone would come over here. Want to share this fresh kill? I always think that fresh kill taken from the pile after a long day tastes good. May just be the hard work, but it always tastes wonderful. I think it's very interesting how Tulip Stripe with the calm nature has similar thought processes as a cat that's more lonesome or aloof, kind of surprised that anybody wants to be around him. Because I always picture calm as being very approachable, but maybe in this game it's just not. Greenfin is eavesdropping on Fluffkit. Alright, we just saw some kitty pets playing with colorful moss balls, so we're not going to be patrolling with anybody specific this moon. Just out of curiosity, this is what our relationships are currently looking like. No crushes or anything like that. But we do have quite a lot of green bars around the board, so I'm a little nervous if anything starts happening to cats around us that we're gonna be in for a rough time. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Her siblings aren't crushing on anybody either. I do think I'm gonna talk to her family though. Oh hey Frostwhisper, sorry I just got back from Moon High Patrol. What are you doing up? I saw an owl while we were out. It swooped down just over our heads. It was wonderful. I love the night sky. Imagine being able to fly. You could see silver pelt with so much detail up there. Be better than nearly anything. The other day by the two-leg place, I saw a two-leg burning their prey. They straight up tossed it into a fire. Horrible, right? I'll never understand them. Well, well, if it isn't Frostwhisper, what can I do, you four fuzzface? What, don't like my nicknames? Heh, I swear it's a term of endearment. Ah, duty calls, I gotta run. Always good to see you, though. Oh, Hollowpelt is wondering how Frostwhisper is doing. Maybe we'll offer an olive branch. Hey kid, come change my moss, will ya? I'm chafing something unreal. After that, head to the medicine den, get some mouse bile. I'm lousy with ticks. I can see why we have had arguments with Hollowpelt in the past. Aw, little kid is hiding from other cats. And Fluffkit is asking every cat in earshot to play with them by comparison. but these are what they look like a little bit more grown up. Little Kit has quite a bit of pink to him, so that'll be interesting to see what it looks like a bit more grown. I almost feel like these two should have had their names flopped, just based on looks alone, but that's okay. We will greet the newcomers, though. Mew? Newborn kitten yells at you from the nursery. You walk over and flick your tail over their face. Meow. Whisker Kid is screaming. I'm not even going to try and scream that into the microphone. Flood Kit is squeaking. And Misty Kit is purring. Misty Kit noses their siblings out of the way to nurse. You know, it does occur to me that if Moonfern, being really the only queen with kits, adopts them, she suddenly has gone from her little litter that she wanted to a litter of 6. So poor Moonfern. During a hunting patrol, we spot a large, plump squirrel. However, it's close to Clay Clan border and crossing it could lead to a skirmish. I don't think we're gonna take that sort of a risk. We decide to respect the border and lead the squirrel. Our clanmates commend us for respect for the warrior code. I'd rather that than getting a strike and exiled. Okay, please bring us back some new herbs since they're all gone now. And unfortunately, the elder tree they picked to try and renew some herbs at seems to have an infestation. And Bitespec does want to use the tattered, diseased-looking leaves. Unfortunate. I'm actually very nervous if we do get hit with anything next moon. We should be getting into Greenleaf soon, and Greenleaf is when we get all the heat strokes, so hopefully we can avoid that. Let's send these two out together. And instead of a cute date, while walking along the border, they notice a River Clan patrol renewing their scent marks ahead. We're more insecure and more on the, you know, thinking side here, so I think these cats are just going to try and have a pleasant conversation. Once they cross paths, Stone Fruit is quick to break the awkward atmosphere with a friendly greeting and easy conversation. They remember some news that River Clan shared at a recent gathering and bring it up, impressing the other patrol with their polite interest. Well, I guess that's also our mandated border patrol done if need be. But I do think I'm going to send out another one with us on it this time. We come across a small dog right on the border of the territory. Well, we can handle a dog. We pace towards it, claws out for up, backed up with the courage of our clanmates. The dog breaks into a fit, but that's their opportunity to attack, covering each other as they push a creature away from their lands. Our next patrol heads out at sunset for the big haul, but Weaselry tries to show off, but it screws up the coordination of the entire patrol. Wonderful. Great job, Weaselry. Oh boy, he's never gonna live that down. And I think we'll go ahead and leave that off here. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. Maybe a little bit more cut up than usual, just because I've got a little bit of a nose thing that's bothering me, so if that comes across too strongly for any reason, that part will be getting taken out, so apologies in advance if there's some skipping around, especially with River's little interruption there. But in any case scenario, thank you as always to Parental Units for supporting the channel. It is greatly appreciated. We do have a few links down in the description below if you would like to check those out. I'm streaming every Saturday on Twitch at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We are currently doing a Pokemon playthrough over there, so if that interests you, go ahead and give me a follow. And there's also a link to Discord if you would like to join in. I do have some events and giveaways over there some from time to time, so if you just want to keep up, feel free to hop on in. But in any case scenario, until next time, stay safe and stay happy. I'll see you then, and bye.